Hello everyone, good afternoon. Maria Abanga here. Maria Abanga, your psychotherapist, motivational speaker specializing in mental health and relational wellness, chiming in from Douala, Cameroon, Africa. Today is the 13th of December, and yeah, we are gradually getting to the Christmas season. It's already the season, well, the Christmas week, the Christmas period. I'm tired. I think many other people are tired. It's time to kind of like start to wind down, start to, what should I say, start to unpack some things in your head you don't really need, start to let go, actually forgive. If you have carried any grudge from the beginning of the year, if anything has happened to you, if you are, it's really the time. You don't want to carry this thing over to 2021. Last Sunday, I was looking at forgiveness, and I was dwelling on self-forgiveness, forgiving of the self. Because for me, that is the most important part in the forgiveness. Although it is much easier to forgive the other person or to say, I forgive you. If it's for us, we'll hold on to our guilt. Yeah, it's more often because of guilt. We'll hold on to our guilt, our judging, judging ourselves, our insecurities, the blame we think we have in that whole situation, and all of those things, right? Okay, yeah, but forgiveness, as I said last Sunday, was a gift to self. So even if it's something somebody else has done to you or somebody else has said to you, you should still be able to forgive, And I'm not an adept of forgive and forget. I don't really know how one can forgive and forget, because it's really difficult to forget unless you go in for electroconvulsive therapy, where they shock you up and everything else is wiped off, not only that particular incident. So if you didn't you didn't follow my live last Sunday, the link is right there. I put it on YouTube, so you can watch it there, or just try to scroll back if you're on my page, and then you can watch that. So this Sunday I want to look at what is forgiveness really like. What do psychologists say forgiveness is all about? I just said forgive is letting go, removing it from your heart. But what is it exactly? So how do you do this, right? And last Sunday I was looking at myself and the way I forgave myself, and I looked at my steps, but that is for me. So what do other experts suggest, right? So is forgiveness for me or the other person? I personally look at it as for me, right? But if in the process I liberate another person, then that's good. But sometimes the other person might not even know that you are bearing a grudge against them. You are feeling bad about something they did, and you might not even be in a position to tell them, or you might not want to go through that process. So they might not know. So don't you bother. It's really for you. But if they're liberated in the process, and if you have the opportunity to tell them, like to say I forgive you, or to write to them, or to give them a call, fine. But if you're not in that position, I will personally not beat myself up. Okay, so how do I know I have forgiven myself? Well, I feel so good. I feel so liberated. I feel so I'm a new person. I don't have nothing to do with the guilt and the shame of like 9 years ago when I left my marriage and stuff like that. And what about life after forgiveness? You should be able to move on. For example, if it's a relationship that went bad, you should be able to get into another one when it's time. It's not like you are competing, you are not challenging anybody, you don't have nothing to prove to anybody, but you want to be able to live, right? You want to be able to take advantage of what life has to offer. And I don't think because of one relationship that went south or north, you're never going to venture into another relationship again. That's what I think life after forgiveness is. In all areas, it's about like living again, loving again, laughing again, sharing again, daring again. That's what it is to me. So I want to read from psychology today. I'm a psychologist, so I love like going there and seeing what they say, other experts, and this is what they say. Forgiveness is in part a willingness to drop the narrative on a particular injustice, to stop telling ourselves over and over the story of what happened, and in some cases telling people are sometimes just tired of all of this pity party, la 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 la. I mean, I cannot forgive this person. Can you imagine they did this to me? Can you imagine 7 years of my life, 10 years of my life? Can you imagine my father did this? Can you imagine my mother did this? Can you imagine? I really just cannot forgive. I cannot. I would never. Oh. So to stop telling ourselves over and over again the story of what happened, what this other person did, how we were injured, and all the rest of the upsetting things, we remind ourselves in relation to this unforgivableness. It is a decision to let the past be what it is. You're not validating that past. You're just letting it be. You're removing the power the past has over your present. You are removing that power and you are saying, I have the power to be in my present, to live my present. Sometimes even with this same person in any different category, or not. But you are just not wanting to dwell on that anymore. I mean, for me, that's the most simple way to look at it. So you want to leave that past, imperfect as it was. I mean, perfection is such an illusion. I don't even know who still holds on to that, right? So forgiveness means we stop the shoulda, coulda, woulda, been, and relinquish the idea that we can create a different past. I mean, can you create a different past? You can't go back there. So you have to be open to meet the present and say, no, I'm closing the door on the past. It is past. It's 1 something now. 12 p.m. 13 December 2020 is past. We are never going to get that. So even if anything happened to you in the morning, why are you dwelling on it now? You're wasting your present. You are there dwelling on what happened in the morning. And maybe that's how you carry it into Monday, into Tuesday, into Wednesday. Before you realize it, 1 week has gone. You are just still there with what happened to you on Sunday morning. No. I know that it is difficult. I know. I have been there. But right now, I can really give myself a tap on the shoulder and say, Mark, you've done well. I am so quick to process things, to talk about them, to move on. Sometimes I tell the other person, sometimes I don't, but I make that peace with myself and I say, hey girl, you have to, right? So what was the next question? That is, what is forgiveness? So how do I forgive? What do experts say? They say you can reach out to this person. That is especially when it relates to another person, because you want to release the resentment or the anger. So sometimes releasing is doing it publicly, releasing is doing it privately, releasing is doing it just you alone, writing it and never showing the other person, maybe tearing it. It is sometimes very painful, right? That process. So you don't want to sit with another person. I watched one guy, he's on YouTube. So he was raped as a boy and he wanted to confront his abuser. He wanted to kind of process that and then move on, because it had really affected him, and he ended up a homosexual. He himself thinks that his abuse had something to do with his penchant for, but whatever. He confronted the abuser. He was actually sitting with his mom because he was a family person. He never met him physically, but at least he called the person. And the person was still trying to invalidate and say, well, come on, that's the past. I mean, it wasn't really like, I was drunk and then, you were really curious about the porn I was watching. So the person was really invalidating the whole thing, the whole experience, staying on the superficial. And this guy, he had a conversation with his mom in the beginning, and his mom reminded him that you are not doing this to kind of let him off the hook or to kind of, what can I say, give him a trophy, all of those things. You are doing this to kind of make peace with yourself, like, okay, well, you have not only decided to forgive yourself, you want to forgive him too, you want to give him an opportunity to redeem himself, but even if he doesn't do it, you are dropping this thing. So he was not able to tell the man that he forgives him because the man didn't even give him the opportunity. In short, the man even hung up the phone on him. Can you imagine that? Somebody who raped you, when you were a young boy, a family person, maybe a cousin or uncle or something, and then you call them, you want to try to talk about this thing to have some closure and to actually tell them I forgive you, and they don't even let you get to that point. It was just so awkward. I mean, he actually cried when he got off the phone, but that's an effort he had made. So that's one way. You can call the person. Another way is you can write to this person. You can write to them and then mail it, or you can write to them and email it, or you can write to them and tear it up. All is that you've released it. You can do an audio and send. It depends on you. We all experience it differently. We all go through pain differently. We all react differently to what people say or do and stuff like that. So we are also the ones to decide when, how, and why we are forgiving, right? So I'm just talking, as a therapist and who has worked with so many people who are carrying things in them, things from years and years ago. I was once such a person too. I'm like, well, it's not worth it. It is vitally important for the mental health of those who have been victimized. So for your mental health, if you were the victim, it's not for the other person's mental health. So in the end, for me, forgiveness is more about you. It's for you. It's a gift. And this is Christmas. Christmas is the time for reconciliation, for forgiveness. Reconciliation doesn't mean you have to embrace them and get back into that relationship and then make them your priority anymore and your number one and all of those things. No, reconciliation means you actually reconcile with that notion that peace is possible, peace is priceless, and that this person, after everything, it's a human being just like yourself, and you deserve to see them with the face of love. You deserve to see them as a creature. If you're a Christian, you can say you see them, you see the face of Christ in them, or you see them like that. Or if you're, religious person or spiritual person, you say, well, they are created in the image of God. So who am I to take that image away from them, right? Let me leave them alone. Is their trouble. Let me stay in my corner. Let me keep my positive mood. Let me keep being happy. Let me, forgiveness enhances this mood. It like it liberates you. I can't say that. I can't overemphasize on that. I'm so free to I just forgave somebody last night. I didn't even tell them that I'm forgiving them. It's been a process, but I forgave myself first, and then last night I spoke to them. I didn't speak to them like on the phone or everything, but I spoke aloud to them. I said, I forgive you. Maybe you did not know you were causing me so much pain, but well, I also put myself up to receive so much pain from you because the signs were there, but I wasn't letting go. I was still hoping, but then I release you from that. I have released myself and I'm free to move on now. And even if I see them, I'm not going to have anything against. I might not even bring up the conversation because for me, it is done. So that's what I wanted to share with us today. We don't need the stress, the anxiety, the depression, the frustration of all of those things, not especially now in this spectacular 2020. It's come with so much already. So let's not close this year with all of this. So you will know when you get to this point and then when you are able to move on after that incident. So please, if you are struggling and you need help and maybe you need professional help, therapy is a laudable option. You might want to contact me. My links are there, my website, my Facebook page, my YouTube channel. You might want to subscribe and click the notification button so that you don't miss out when I do another video, because I'm going to upload this on YouTube, right? That some people on Facebook and that some people on YouTube. So I'm trying to do this on both platforms. That is that. And I'm also on Instagram, not so frequent and everything, but I'm there anyway. That is it. And today is the 13th. Maybe next Sunday, which is going to be if I make it by grace, of course, next Sunday is going to be the 20th. I might do the last one for the year. I don't know. Or I might do another one again on the 27th. Let's just see how it goes. COVID has taught us not to plan too much in advance because anything can happen. And of course, life itself is fleeting. So I don't want to go without forgiving anybody in my life, especially myself. Okay, thank you so much. And if you have any comment you want to make, please feel free to make that comment right here. reach out to me anywhere, and then think about it for yourself too, if it's worth it, holding on to that um, incident, or to all the resentment and all of that. Okay, until then, I am yours, Maria Abanga. God bless us all.